Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm excited because I really want to recreate a look I've been seeing all over Instagram and YouTube. I actually tried this look or technique a few weeks back and posted a photo on my Instagram. I was just playing around and a lot of you requested that I actually do a tutorial. So I'm going to be doing the reverse smoky eye or reverse cat eye. So these looks are very heavy on the lower lash line and very minimal on the upper lid, which is pretty much opposite from what I usually do and I feel like a lot of us usually do. It's pretty easy to achieve. You just have to make sure that you have products that work for you. I've tried it with liners that I wasn't familiar with and it made it more difficult. So I'll tell you my top products that I think would work best for this look. So we're just going to be doing a full face tutorial and I'm going to show you how I personally do the reverse cat eye if you want to try it at home. I will link all the products I talk about today down below in my description box. If you're new here, I hope you'll subscribe and let's go ahead and begin. So because this look is so heavy on the liner and the lower lash line, you want to do your foundation and your base first. I typically don't do that, but for this look, because you're going to be smoking out on your lower lash line, I want to have my base down before I go in with the eyeshadow. So I'm going to go in with my Freck Beauty moisturizer. I'm just going to use products that I know and love. This is one of my favorite moisturizers. It's lasted me forever, and I just like the way that this sits under makeup. It's very hydrating, doesn't break me out. I've been using this. It has to be over a year now, maybe even 2 years. I have a mosquito bite in like the most random spot ever. I went to my neighbor's party the other night. I was literally there for like 30 minutes outside and I noticed that I got a mosquito bite and everybody was like getting bit up. My husband and my other neighbor were like getting bit up by the mosquitoes. And I was like, oh, I'm not feeling anything. And then I saw that and I'm like, okay, maybe I was. Another favorite product of mine is this Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer. I'm almost out of the mini and I probably will buy a full size when the sale comes around. I like to do just one pump and I like to put this on my forehead and the tops of my cheekbones. So it just gives me a little bit of glow, so definitely don't want to put this in my T-zone, but I like how it sits under makeup and I feel like just gives me a little bit of hydration and a nice glow. And no surprise here, I'm going to go in with my Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer, just in my pore area. So now that I have my skin prepped, I'm going to go in with my NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation. This one's really high coverage. I really like it when I want more of a glam look. And because we're going to be doing that super smoky lower lash line, I really want the full glam effect. I'm going to mix Stromboli with Santa Fe. Santa Fe is too light. Stromboli is too dark. I have a hard time finding the right shade. To apply my foundation, I'm going to be using the Hailey's Beauty Remix Complexion Sponge. I am partnering with Hailey's Beauty for this portion of the video and I'm going to be demoing some of my top picks from the brand. I have about 4 holy grails from them and I'm going to be talking about 3 today, one of them being this sponge. Hailey's Beauty was founded by Ashley Ocampo, who is a female chemist. She focuses on putting skin-friendly ingredients in all of the products. They are vegan and cruelty-free and it's a great brand to check out if you're looking for some staple products that are really going to perform. So I'm going to start blending this foundation on the skin. This sponge from Hailey's Beauty is latex free. It gets very soft, which is probably the preference of most people. I know one of the biggest complaints I see and I personally have is sponges that are rock hard and don't blend. It also gives you that really nice airbrushed finish and it covers a lot of surface area quickly. So next I want to move on to concealer. I'm going to be using the newest launch from Hailey's, which is their Rewind Blurring Full Coverage Concealer. I have the shade here, Fair Light Neutral. I do go back and forth between Fair Neutral, Light Neutral, and Fair Light Neutral. I want a little bit of that brightness under my eyes today just because we're going full glam. This concealer is incredible. If you want a full coverage yet lightweight feel and it's not drying, it feels very creamy, a little goes a long way. today. It also has this metal tip on the end, so it feels really nice and cooling when you do apply it. This concealer is also formulated with diamond powder, which is going to give it that luminosity and that radiance, but it also softens the appearance of wrinkles, which I'm all about because, as you guys know, I've said I've been struggling recently with just little fine lines under my eye, dryness. This doesn't accentuate any of it. Now, this concealer retails for $20, but Hailey's Beauty is actually hosting their friends and family sale starting today until September 8th, and it's 30% off site-wide excluding sets. So if there's anything that you've been eyeing from them, this is the perfect time to save 30%. This is usually 20 bucks. It goes down to 14. The sponge is usually 10 and it goes to 7, which is literally incredible. So I want to go ahead and start applying the concealer. Like I said, a little goes a long way. So I just like to apply a little bit in here and then right on the outer edge to lift the face. So I just apply honestly like the tiniest amount. I like to do on the outer corner and really in here where I get that kind of blue darkness. And then I'm just going to flip the sponge over, use the other side to blend this in. I also used it on my lids, if you were wondering, so you can definitely use it as an eye primer. So now that we have our concealer on, you can see that it really just brightened my under eye and I'm ready to set. I want to go in next with my favorite product from them, which is the Retouch Soft Focus Setting Powder. This powder is incredibly blurring and lightweight. There's something special about how this really just smooths out the skin. You guys know I really struggle with pores, and I mean, nothing's gonna get rid of your pores, but this is gonna give you that really blurred effect, which is pretty much the only thing I look for in setting powders. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this how I normally would. I don't typically bake, but I do press it under the eye and then pull it down, specifically in my T-zone mostly, and that really just gives me that nice airbrush look. So I like to really get up in there, press it in, and then sort of pull it out and down. And then I also do like to pull it down on my chin area, around my nose, where my pores really bother me the most. And then also going to press this in on my forehead area. And then whatever powder's left over after I really focus on my T-zone, I just press it into the skin. And now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to the other side. This powder is super lightweight, but it locks your makeup in as well. And for me, especially right now when it's very hot, I always need to set my face, but I don't want something heavy. I don't want something that's going to accentuate my texture. I really want something that's going to smooth it, which is what this does. And because Hailey's Beauty is having their sale right now, this powder is typically $22, but it's gonna be $15.40 until the 8th of September. I'll have all the information down below, but I was super excited when they told me they were having a sale just because they're already really affordably priced products, but to get a sale is even better. So this is definitely the time to jump on it if you've been eyeing them. All right, so this is my complexion using the Hailey's Beauty products. Highly recommend checking out this brand. The people behind the brand are incredible, but the products are just as good. Definitely check out their friends and family sale. This is the perfect time. 30% off site-wide. It ends on September 8th, excluding sets. So I'll have all the information linked down below as well as everything I used today. And let's go ahead and jump into this reverse cat eye tutorial. So next I want to move on to the eyes. This is going to be totally different than what I usually do. We're going to do a ton of drama on the lower lash line and then really not much on the top. I'm going to be using the Master Mattes palette by Makeup by Mario, just because I really like this. I know it blends beautifully. I'm gonna go into this shade right here. So you wanna use a very light shade and just dust it in your crease. You can use any color really. This one's a little bit more warm, but I've done it before, or when I did it before, I did use a cooler tone. And you just want a tiny bit of definition, but nothing crazy on the top of your lid because all the drama really is gonna be underneath. I thought this color would work because it's very light, just enough to give me a little bit of dimension. I originally saw this look done by Painted by Spencer, so I can link that video down below as well. I'm I'm also going to run just a little bit of this under the lower lash line. You probably won't be able to see it, but just to tie in with what we did on the lid. But again, very, very light. You're really gonna focus on the liner in this look. All right, so here is where the look really begins. I'm gonna go in with my Nabla liner. This is the Cupid's Arrow Full Color Stylo, and this is in number 4, which is black. So I did this look the other day with a Too Faced liner, and it was really hard to blend out. You really wanna go for a creamy liner that gives you time to work with it and smudge it, but then sets down. This has been probably the easiest I've ever used. So what you're gonna do, depending on how, I guess, aggressive you wanna be, you're gonna apply this in your lower waterline, and then you can smudge it out and keep building. So you can make it very dramatic where you put it in your waterline and then underneath, or you can just put it in your waterline. I tend to do a little bit underneath because I like the drama. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this in one eye at a time. I'm gonna work one eye at a time because I wanna have the time to be able to smudge it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and start applying. You can see how pigmented this is. So you can apply it like that, and then I'm gonna go even a little bit underneath. So it should look something like this, and then you're gonna want to immediately start smudging. So I am just making sure that I'm smudging. You wanna work quickly, but that's why it's so important to have a liner that is smudgeable. When I tried this the other day with a different liner, it was really difficult. So you can take this down as low as you want. I would say this is pretty much good for me. I mean, I do like, you know, it to be intense, but I don't want to go too low. So once you have it smudged and a base to work with, I actually go in with a really tiny brush. This is an E35 from Morphe, and I take it directly off the liner, and I'm going to pull this out like a cat eye effect. So I'm just going to follow this shape right here. I've got the liner on my brush, and you want to wing it out. Now, of course, you can go as dramatic as you'd like. So it's kind of fun just to do whatever works for you. And then I'm gonna pull in a little bit right here on the outer corner. So I like to pull it in a little bit on top. That's just what I think looks best for me, but you don't have to do that. Okay, so this is the shape that I'm gonna stick with. I'm also going to take a little bit on the brush here, and I'm going to tight line, and I wanna do this in here as well. Now, another thing you can do is a flick on the inner corner. This always makes me nervous, but I'm just going to Okay, so this is the shape I'm going for. You can see it looks pretty wild, but once we get everything done, it will come together. I like to do the little flick on the inside of the eye, and the easiest way for me personally to do that is to put a little bit on the inner corner on the top and then pull it down wherever it meets. This is the hardest part for me though, and then you flick it out here as well. So you can kind of play around with it, but I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye and then we will finish off. Okay, so both eyes have the eyeliner on. I want to smoke it out. So you can go in with whatever shade you'd like. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of a deeper shade just because I feel like the one I used was way too light to smoke this. So I'm probably gonna try this shade right here, and I'm gonna use a flat smudger brush. And I wanna see if this is, yeah, that should be all right. I just wanna smoke underneath here. I think the biggest takeaway for this look is to make sure that you have an eyeliner that is easy to smudge. Because once you get the eyeliner down, it's really not difficult to use any shadow, bronzer, whatever you have on hand to smoke. So I'm just gonna make sure that this is blended and looks nice and smoky. And then if you feel that you went over some areas too much, I'm just going back in with that black liner on a brush, just to make sure that we don't move too much of the black, because that's pretty much the whole point of this, to be really smoky and intense. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this on the other eye. So now I have it smoked out, and I'm gonna use this Shiseido Micro Liner ink. I'm gonna use this to tightline. And I like this because it's really small. I'm pretty new to the formula, but it's very, very small, so you can get in and make sure that everything is tight lined, because you definitely want to make sure that you do that for this look. So next I'm going to go in with mascara. I'm just using this Lily Lashes mascara. I really like it. And you want to be really generous. Now, of course, you don't have to do lashes, but what's nice about this look is because the drama is on the bottom, your lashes do really shine. Now, in terms of lashes, I really want the focus to be on the lower lash line, so I am just gonna use a half lash and put this on the outer corner just to give me some drama, but really still focus on the lower lash line. So the eyes are done. I want to move on to the face and lips and finish this off because I'm looking a little crazy right now. So I'm going to go into my YSL bronzer. This is in the shade Fire Opal 02. And I'm just going to bring some dimension back to my face. I actually switch brushes because I've been wanting to do, or I've been enjoying putting my bronzer higher up, just more precisely. For blush, I'm going to use this Powerpuff Girls and ColourPop collaboration. This shade is called Saving the World. It's a really beautiful, punchy, like creamsicle sort of color. For highlighter, I'm going to go into my Revlon Skin Lights, and this is in the shade Daybreak Glimmer. This is really beautiful and super affordable. I mean, woo! And I'm also going to put this down my nose. So to line my lips, I'm going to use this Victoria Beckham Beauty Lip Liner in the shade 05. I got this recently, but I've really been enjoying it. And for lipstick, I want to use something that is going to be a little bit peachy and go in with the warm cheeks. So I'm going to use the KKW Lipstick in Peach 2. So I'm just going to apply a little bit. And just kind of blend it in. And then right in the center, I'm going to go in with my Melt Cosmetics lipstick in Zaddy. Just to really tone it down. So I still get that peach, but it's not too much. Okay guys, so here's my finished makeup look doing the reverse cat eye. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's really kind of strange looking in the monitor. I feel like I look really weird, but it's fun to do new techniques, and I feel like whenever I see a new trend going around, I want to give it a go myself. So I will link all the products I used today down below in my description box. Have you tried this trend? What do you think about it? Definitely let me know your thoughts on that, and don't forget to check out Haley's Beauty and get that 30% off for their friends and family sale. So all the information will be down below in my description box. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.